How you doing, guys? Steve here again. This is the first time you're watching one of my videos. Still, long and short of it, I've been battling depression and anxiety for about a year now. Some days are easier than others, and some days are a lot harder than others. But I've survived for about a year, and I'm still here. And one thing that really irked me, really bugged me about 2 days ago was I was on Snapchat looking at my friends' stories, my family stories, and I saw a couple of my buddies were golfing. So I sent the Snapchat back. I said, "Hey, assholes, thanks for the invite for golf," But then it dawned on me how much anxiety and depression has changed me, how much it's changed my life, how many things I've avoided, and how many parties and social events and just at different aspects of life that have become harder for me or I've avoided for over a year. And it sucks, guys. It sucks how much depression holds us back. It sucks how much anxiety holds us back. And I know for a while I was house-ridden, couch-ridden, bed-ridden, and I know from experience, guys, that none of that makes you better. It doesn't heal anything. That is depression, that is anxiety, that is the illnesses. That's their job. It's their job to keep you down. It's depression to keep you down. It's anxiety's job to make you question if you can handle doing something. The simplest tasks, whether they be taking a shower or making yourself food, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, shaving, keeping up on your hygiene. Those are just the small ones, and they're real. It's a real thing that can happen, and it happened to me. But what I want to get to is that you can't. I'm not saying that it's easy, guys. Don't think that I'm giving a motivational speech about how easy it is, because it's not. It's a fight. It's a battle every single day with depression, with anxiety. And I know now that staying in the house, staying in your bedroom, staying on the couch, it doesn't solve anything. Your problem is still there, no matter how much you want to try and hide from it. So what I suggest to you guys is make a list of things you used to be able to do with ease. Make a list of things that you used to be able to do that give you enjoyment, that you used to love doing, and see how many of those things that you no longer do, and then really take a look at them and think about it, because there are tons of things that you used to be able to do with ease before depression, before anxiety. And I'm sure there's lots of things you used to do for enjoyment that you found enjoyment in, and you're no longer doing them. Because I know for me that there's a laundry list of things that I used to find enjoyment in, and that I used to do with ease, and how anxiety and depression have stripped those away from me without me even realizing it. Now, what I want you guys to do is what I've been trying to do for the last couple months, is take baby steps. Try out small things first. Taking a shower, shaving, trying to keep good hygiene up, taking care of yourself, making yourself breakfast, lunch, and dinner, getting out of the house. If you're invited someplace to a party or to a social event or even to the movies. Anxiety and depression, it's their job to keep you down. And every ounce of that illness is going to say, no, don't go. Don't do it. You know, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if I have an anxiety attack? What if I have a panic attack? What if my depression overcomes me and I hysterically cry in front of my friends or in front of my loved ones? It's the illness talking. It's not you talking. You know, and I know for me, I'm not going to sit here and say that it was easy, because once I tried to get out of my shell, once I tried to do these small tasks, to go to social events, to try new things, or not new things, but things that I used to be able to do, I would feel as if excuse me, you know, people could see right through me. People could see that I was hurting. People could see that I had something wrong with me. And it only added to my anxiety. But the more and more that I continued to do these things, you know, like driving and seeing my friends, seeing my family, the easier and easier they became each time I did them. I'm not going to sit here and say that the first time I did it, that it was easy. It was difficult as hell, and it takes a lot to muster up the guts, muster up the balls to go out and do these things. But we're all capable of doing it. We're all capable of not letting depression and anxiety consume us to the fullest. Because if you're sitting in your bed, if you're sitting on the couch, if you're afraid to get out of the house, you're enclosed, you're surrounded by walls, and the longer you sit behind those walls, the smaller and smaller these walls become. And that's just depression and anxiety closing in and making your life smaller and smaller and smaller, because you've been avoiding life, you've been avoiding happiness. And that's what the illness wants you to do. The illness wants you to be depressed. The illness wants you to be anxious. It wants you to question every single thing you're about to do, every single action you're about to take. You know, it makes you question the future, it makes you question the past, it makes you question so much. Meanwhile, life is still going on around us, and you don't even realize it. You know, you're just so consumed by your illness that you don't fully grasp the idea that how much you've been held back, how much you're being held back. And you have to break out of that shell. You gotta metaphorically get into a bulldozer and drive as fast as possible and break down these walls. And it's not easy, guys. It's not a simple thing. It's really not. It's really hard, but it's worth it. You know, the best thing I can suggest, which I'm going to start to do, is make a schedule. Because if you have nothing planned for tomorrow, if you have nothing planned for the day after, it's easy with depression and with anxiety to sleep 10, 12 plus hours, you know, and it's easy to not want to get out of bed even though you're wide awake. It's easy because what is there to do, you know? But if you make yourself a promise, and I don't like promising often because I hate breaking promises, but if you promise to yourself something, it's pretty powerful. If you make yourself a promise, if you set a goal and you keep that promise and you meet that goal, it's a victory. It's a victory against depression. It's a victory against anxiety. It is so powerful, and the more and more victories that we have will help us heal, will help us get better. Because I'm telling you guys, for months, depression and anxiety won every single battle that I had against them, and I didn't even realize it. It was holding me back so much that I was losing every single fight, mentally and physically, that I was so worn down, and I just was giving up because I was just letting it consume me. And you can't let it do that. You can't let depression, you can't let anxiety consume you. You can't let it control every single aspect of your life. You can't let it dictate what life has in store for you. You know, a friend told me recently that I haven't been around in a while. And he jokingly made a joke. He's like, well, I understand because your friends, me and all the guys are nuts. You know, I can understand why you wouldn't want to be around us. But, you know, that was his way of saying, hey, Steve, we miss you. Come around some more, you know. And, you know, I used to reach out to my friends all the time to hang out and to do things, to go golfing, you know, to go out to the movies, whatever it may be, you know, go watch the hockey game, go watch the football game. I used to be the one to reach out to my buddies and reach out to hang out. But I no longer do that. I no longer, for the last year, have done that at all. I've avoided social activities. I've avoided everything because of my illness, because what my illness is telling me that I can and cannot do. So, if you take a step back and you realize what your illness is taking from you and what you can take back from it, even though it might be small gains, one thing at a time, one day at a time, it's baby steps, it's small steps to get back to how you used to feel, to how you used to react, to how you used to act in life, you know. So my main point is, write down those things, guys. Things you used to do, things you used to enjoy, and get back to doing them. As hard as it may be, and like I said, you're not weak if you feel that you can't do them. But don't say no to everything. Take the smallest thing on your list and do it. I promise you that it might not be easy, but it's going to be worth it. You might not enjoy it at first, but the more and more you do it, the more and more enjoyment you will find from it, and it will rewire your brain, it will rewire your body in a healthy way, in a more meaningful way. You know, give yourself an activity to do every day, multiple activities to do. Make them small at first. If you're bedridden, couch-ridden, you know, house-ridden, do these things and work up from them, and then eventually get the fuck out of the house. You know, get the fuck into the world again. Be yourself, because depression and anxiety is not you. It's just something that you have. It's not who you are. And that's the best I can say, guys. So, if you're having a hard day, if you're hurting, and if you're suffering, please keep trying. Please keep your head up. Please keep fighting. Please keep surviving. You do these things, you fight your illness, you do your research on what you can do to get better, and we're all going to get better soon, guys. I'll see you in the next video.